Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Do 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 do. Cue the bass song. Cue the bass song. Good to have you back, man.
Thank you.
God, Al, we specifically omitted stories because we needed your just whimsical jingle and your fresh wit and your don't give a fuck attitude about anything or anybody
Okay.
opinion. We saved something that happened in one of our lives specifically to tell you all about it. Uh, you know, Japanese
Excited.
pitchers and batters hitters are getting signed to $700 million deals. Another
It's
pitcher is going
crazy.
to get signed to a $400 million deal. Whew!
Deferred.
Yeah, 800.
Deferred is the word of the day. It's like
Oh,
fucking Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Bonita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna pay him till he's
Um,
85.
Actually, don't want to get too baseball because I was reading the other deferred bits of those players' contracts, mainly Freeman and Betts, and I think it's like 2034. They're going to be paying close to like 100 million in deferred contracts. That's not
Wild, dude.
active roster, but anyway, um,
It's crazy.
yeah, house went blown up to smithereens in Arlington, Virginia. Someone
We
playing with
almost
flare guns.
we almost omitted that one because honestly, Alan, and I don't want to take all the credit for this because obviously Wes was like, "Yeah, you're right." I was sitting here like, "Well, I know what I'm gonna say," but without my foil right in front of me to touche or an ole, like I was like, I just felt weird. I didn't want to do it. I was like, we can't do it. We gotta wait for Alan. We'll save these stories. We'll talk about something else. But Wes, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the I'm gonna go and
What,
pull the rabbit out of the hat.
do you want me to mention the two stories that we held that we withheld?
Okay, let's get to that first, I guess.
Okay,
God, make me wait
so
more.
yeah, no, because yours is the grand finale, man. Yours
Okay,
the
all
one.
right.
You're the moment right before the ejaculate,
So,
right before
all
you,
right, let's get
right
that
before you.
pre-cum rolling then, because I really need to get to it. Because I've also realized that once I reveal this to Alan, I will not have any kind of leg to stand on when I say like I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking honestly here. I mean, just try and think about it this way. Nope, that argument's out the window. Okay, story number one that we failed to get to without the presence of one Alan Giannis.
I don't recall why, but maybe you do. It's Doomsday Community wants people to live in quote 757 bunkers for when all hell breaks loose. These say like hold up to 10,000 people in the Black Hills Range of South Dakota, former army base which stored word I don't know has been repurposed into bunkers. The base has been transformed to livable bunkers, and it's apparently a group of people that think it just oh shit might happen.
Now, Alan, why do you think I said we should wait till you're back?
Uh, I mean, this is like right up my alley, right? This is like a bit of cult, a bit of end of days, a bit of fucking shit. Could be aliens. Could be. Look, there's a video game reference here. I was gonna say, what are we fucking? What is this? Fallout? Are we just turning into fucking? We living in vaults and experimenting, seeing what happens. Fuck, this is wild. I didn't
And
see this
I
shit.
felt like I couldn't talk about it because I feel like I would be championing a people that Alan doesn't necessarily respect or appreciate. However, they would be the ones that we would have to commune with in order to have a community moving forward. So it's the crazy people that might shoot up a school and or break into a Capitol building. They are the ones that will in fact survive.
Look, it might shock you. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've watched a couple of different shows recently. But like, I kind of the other day turned to Kelly and was like, "Should buy some guns."
Right?
So hey, man, look, maybe it's converting me. Doubtful. I'm not that crazy. If we get to that point, just fucking let me go. I'll wander the
Well,
wastes until.
Well, I've always said with like like you just said, like when liberals finally say let's get a gun, it's almost the point that conservatives have been trying to prove all this time to you. It's like if you're responsible, you should have the right to own it because you might just need it. And who is Uncle Sam or some guy with I don't know a vegan diet to tell me I'm not supposed to have it?
I mean, yeah, but I also think that's a little like. I mean, we're painting with broad strokes here, are we not? Like it's not like I'm anti-gun. I don't care. Have guns. Now, is it that unreasonable that we maybe like start a fucking system of data that holds our names and our addresses? Maybe a lot like licenses for cars or or just
Register to vote.
spitballing. Just spitball. Look, I'm not saying we gotta fucking send it directly to the FBI and they're fucking watching our house. I'm just saying maybe we could exercise a little bit of common sense in our gun laws.
Hey, Wes, what's the largest gun a private citizen should be allowed to own in your mind?
A fucking bazooka. This is
Okay,
still
yeah.
America.
Man,
I mean,
all right.
I no, with something that goes over your shoulder that could penetrate a fucking tank. No, that's what I think of.
No, we should.
But I'm starting to get to a point where like if they outlawed certain assault rifles, I wouldn't be too terribly butthurt about it. I wouldn't vote for it, but if I was the minority in this vote, I wouldn't like go pick it outside and shoot my guns in the air.
I see. I like where Wes is at because I've never been one of those like, yeah, ban all guns. I've never. Like, I don't care. Do your thing, man. Like, now some guns we probably shouldn't have. Shouldn't just go to regular old people. There should be a little bit more stringency. Like handguns, shotguns, great. Fuck it. Even bolt action rifles, fine. You know what I mean? Sure, you could take a human's leg off with it, but you can't take 15 legs off in 10 seconds.
Well, you know,
That's
it's just when tyrannical Uncle Sam comes a knocking at your door, you better hope you have that tank buster
That's fair,
shoulder
man.
fired.
Look, let's start gun reform with taking guns away from police and the government in general. Fine.
And anybody who just coincidentally is an Uncle Samuel, Uncle Sam, just get him. Like, sorry, man. Sorry.
If you dress like Uncle Sam for Halloween, done. Finished.
Tough luck.
Done. You're banned. Your
Who am
gun
I?
license is revoked.
Well, your name is Samuel Peterson, and you happen to be an uncle to your brother's 3 kids, so we're taking your guns. Sorry, man. You might get them back. I don't know.
I think liberals and conservatives can definitely meet at our police have too many toys.
I just think our police actually have too many conversations. I don't even care about the toys that they have. I don't think it should be like, hey, Mr. Murr, your tag light's out. Oh, I'm sorry about that. You want to write me a repair order? It's like, what you got in the car? None of you.
Well, that's because we fucking gave them guns and tanks, and then when you say, beat it, fucking nerd, they roll up with 10 of their friends and beat the shit out of you. That we've allowed that to happen.
I know. Well, and that's my point. It's like I think we should.
That happen in England. They're like, get out of here with your fucking stick, dork. Like, and nothing happens. Fine.
Yeah.
Worst
So
case,
bottom-
stabby stab. One guy dead. Good to go.
Bottom line is, we can draw a line in the sand. We can meet in the middle. We can snort that line, then we can shoot guns in the air in celebration, right? Is that the
Right.
kind of the... All right.
Blow shit up. Look, man, as long as you're blowing shit up and it doesn't burn your neighbor's house down, I think whatever you want to explode in your backyard is the freedom you deserve. It's the freedom earned through blood, sweat, and tears. You
That's
know,
fair.
and the people that celebrate that freedom, by the way, they're the ones putting these bunkers out in the desert for you and I to hopefully survive the apocalypse in.
See, I think
they trigger it.
we're a little bit more realistic, though. Like, I'm like, okay, could war start? Could famine happen? These motherfuckers are like, the government's definitely going to come beating down our doors to take my fucking shotgun, and that's not what's going to happen. So I think it's just, that's the only reason I like ragging on y'all. We ain't that different. We got to stop letting them divide us, guys. We ain't that fucking different.
You're not
We
wrong.
already said whatever the dividing line is, we'll snort it together.
Yeah.
Come on. We can find reform everywhere.
When you start going into bunkers because the rapture's coming, now I'm good.
You know, Wes, your brother taught me into watching Vice, the Dick Cheney movie with Christian Bale. And, we just need a common enemy. That's all we need. And that's okay, I think. I think we need some more propaganda that's just, oorah, America. That's what we need. We need someone to get, like, what? Look, I mean, I've got nothing against the folks coming across the southern border. I just think it should be closed. And, but, if we had an enemy down there.
What does that mean? Closed, exactly. Like, what is that? What is closed?
Unlike a sieve where anything comes through, a dam that opens and closes upon necessity.
I mean, we kind of have those,
But we don't.
they don't work. That's the problem.
but we don't try hard enough. We're like, nah, finger here. Sorry,
Yeah.
that one's leaking. Anyway, let's not get on that topic. I'm just saying, I think that we need a common enemy, and that will bring us all together. But Wes, what was the other story that
So
we did?
what you're saying is Uncle Sam has small fingers and he can't plug those holes. I knew it, that bastard. The other one is Oxford University Press named Rizz, Rizz, the word of the year for 2023.
Do we have that article ready?
I have it up, yeah. Some of the other candidates were beige flag.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, I don't even know what Rizz means.
I know what Rizz means, but
Okay, is Rizz like oh shit, what is Rizz? It's street cred?
Not terrible, not too far off. It's more like charisma. It's a short for charisma. So it's
okay.
like you see it, like if you see like dudes on TikTok like macking on girls on the street and shit, like, or them fucking like sexy flexy ass dudes that walk up to girls and they know they can hit that and they're like, hey girl, you think I'm pretty? And she's like, fuck yeah, I think you're pretty. And he's like, yeah, let's smash. And then somebody's like, look at the Rizz on this guy, he's fucking phenomenal. It's just hyping up boys. Like, it's just hyping up the bros. Yeah,
And then people,
it's all good. I like that. Rizz is cool with me.
Someone like myself who doesn't know is like, look at the Rizz on that guy. I turn around like, yeah, my dick is huge, yo.
I saw one, and I watched it like 10 times to make sure it wasn't a put on. But like this dude, he's jacked. He's at the beach. He's like talking. So would you date this guy? And she's like, nah, it's not my type. He's like, not your type? Yo, I drive a Lambo. My dad left me when I was 4. I'm a good guy. Fuck you. And I'm like, whoa.
That doesn't sound like a good guy.
There was a lot of trauma that came out in that one little moment. Beige flag.
It's a character trait that indicates that a partner or potential partner is boring or lacks originality. Also a trait or habit, especially of a partner or potential partner, viewed as extremely characteristic but not distinctly good or bad. Okay. I said that's a, quote, draft definition. Maybe because they haven't necessarily said. Situationship.
I assume that's just a fucking... That's
Another...
Just like a booty call. It's like a booty call.
Like, yeah, just another weird millennial term for, like, not quite my girlfriend, but we might be doing something together.
We smash, but she's not meeting my parents, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Parasocial.
Parasocial?
Yeah.
You have a friend group, but you never really hang out with them?
I think that's...
Like you're always hovering around the social scene, but you're never really there?
You're getting warmer. Designating a relationship...
The context of para. Maybe like...
Okay. I was waiting. Do you want me to wait?
I was thinking like you only got like one friend or maybe you like you're the guy who's always like, hey man, trying to hang out, trying to fucking we should do something, and then like your other friend's like, nah. I mean, yeah man, send me some dates, and then you never hang out because they don't want to hang out with you.
All right, so you're pretty close. Both of you are getting like kind of like I said, warm. Parasocial, designated relationship characterized by the one-sided, unreciprocated sense of intimacy felt by a viewer, fan, or follower of a well-known or prominent figure, typically a media celebrity, in which the follower or fan comes to feel falsely that they know the celebrity as a friend. That's usually like the premises of a psycho, babble.
Yeah,
like, we're friends, are we? Like, oh, we're not friends.
We weren't warm at all, dude. There was no part of us anywhere near the stove on that thing.
I think I heard one-sided from Alan.
Yeah, I did. That was a term. So when you said it, I was like, all right, basically now.
All right, heat dome.
Heat dome?
Heat dome? That's when you get head in a hot box in like a sauna. It's heat dome.
That's a woman or a man with a particularly warm mouth.
Ooh. Is it a nice?
Kinda.
No, I'm kidding. That's not it at all.
Oh shit!
Is it a nice haircut?
Wow, no. It's a persistent high pressure weather system over a particular geographic area which traps a mass of hot air below it. Come on.
Okay, that's okay.
That's a word.
That's well, I know, but I figured these were phrases that like the average person like walking through life is gonna use at some point. Like, yo, there's
it's heat dome out here today.
like if you just got back from the barber and I was like, damn, look at that heat dome. I'd be like, you got a fly haircut.
I think I'm gonna start saying that to people with haircuts now.
Heat dome. Yeah, that would be like the
Heat dome.
number two definition. The next we have Swifty.
Yeah, obviously.
No, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Prompt.
moving on.
Prompt.
Like
Prompt?
on time.
Like on time? Yeah. Or like to prompt someone, like to give them a cue.
Yeah, so an instruction given to an artificial intelligence program, algorithm, etc., which
yeah.
determines or influences the content it generates.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
That's yeah.
And then the last one, I get it because it's pretty self-explanatory. De-influencing.
Like, so you're making something not cool using the social media to that Bud Light that sucks now.
Yeah, it's just the practice of discouraging people buying particular products or encouraging people to reduce their consumption of material good via social
So
media.
it's like, it's not a
Princesses are
boycott.
gay. Don't fucking watch Disney. Yeah,
It's like, it's like making something lame so other people will think it's lame too.
Mm-hmm.
They said the can to a tranny. Don't drink it. It's fucking, fucking ridiculous.
And finally-
they don't shoot guns either.
Nope.
Well, and finally, Alan, after years of toiling and dreaming and hoping and praying that one day I would be the fine owner of one of these pieces of machinery, on Monday I officially took delivery of my Tesla Model 3.
Oh, you would. Cool. Didn't they just recall like 2 million of them for?
It's a software update. Fuck all
Self-driving
y'all.
shit.
Every goddamn person I know that knows that I got this thing's like, there's that recall on everyone that's ever been
I
built.
mean, it's a pretty big deal.
It's a software update. They were it's already fixed.
I don't
Mine
even
came
know what it
fixed.
was. I was just asking.
It was an auto steer thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but Mer, aren't you? I just assumed you were one of those conservatives. It's like, you know, when the liberals talk about getting off of coal and oil, you're like, you know how bad lithium mining is for the environment. They use Nigerian babies for that. Like, aren't you one of those guys? And then you bought a Tesla. Isn't that hypocritical?
Look, bottom line is this. Elon has made it easy to be on both sides of the coin because now he's hated by liberals, but he's built the thing that the liberals always wanted. And I'm in the middle here. I feel like I either need to get a MAGA sticker for the back of it or like a drill baby drill sticker for the back of it. Because look,
Christ.
I bought it for the technology. I bought it because look, I am going to say this to you guys right now. Your recall bullshit aside, it is the greatest car I've ever driven. And a lot of times when you get your hopes up about something, it just kind of, it's okay. No, this is a totally different fucking driving experience. And I am proud of myself that I'm, one, capable of affording something like this, and two, that I actually pulled the trigger and got through the sticker shock. I'm not gonna lie to you though, the week leading up to it, I had like a panic attack every day about the amount of money that was gonna be coming out of my bank account, because the only reason I'm able to buy it is because of the tax incentives that are coming my way, hopefully in April, because that's gonna pay back the down payment. But my God, man, it is a different type of machinery. It's not supposed to do this, but I timed it. My brother drove it, and I hit the stopwatch. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. 0 to 80 in 4.
Yeah, these things are wild.
Fuck coal, fuck oil, fuck lithium, fuck Nigerian babies. Give me that goddamn car every goddamn day of the week.
Reasonable. Let me see.
You should
I
shoot.
just- I didn't know. I don't know how
firearms
much.
out the side.
I don't know how much they are, so and I didn't want
should-
to like ask you. That seems rude.
At the end of the day, out of pocket, everything together, it's $50,000.
Okay.
But-
I thought they were more than that. That's not bad.
But I'm gonna get 10,000 back in credits. I'm also not gonna buy gas for the life of the car, and a partridge in a pear tree. I don't know, but all I know is my brother actually summed it up for me, because I was gonna buy a car no matter what. But he was like, "How old are you?" I said, 44. He's like, "How long do you keep your cars?" I said, "About 10 years. So he said, "You buy a car that you don't really want just to get a car, you're going to have it till you're," I said, 54. He's like, "Yeah, why don't you spend that fucking money you've been earning over the last 2 decades and get something you actually fucking want?" And I was like, all right, that's a fair point.
Man. Yeah. We're just
And shoot some
we're just
firearms
middle,
out the side.
we're just middle class holes here, man. We ain't dying with millions in the bank account. Drive that Tesla.
Well, hold on.
But
Wait a minute. We got to pause because you guys are middle class souls. I just joined a whole new class of people. Um, listen, the one
this
thing
guy
that I
told his
do,
wife and child they have to move to a smaller house, but he's got a Tesla. Like this fucking guy.
I do want to do a Tesla. Like, just bought my Tesla. Now, the first thing you're gonna notice is how much better you are than everyone else around you. At a stoplight, you just this sense of just entitlement that is deserved. It's yours now. You've earned it. Well done.
There's a guy at work that has one. You could tell. You just look at him and be like, "You own a Tesla." No,
Yeah.
he's a cool guy. It is cool though. The handles are neat. I couldn't figure out how to get out of the bitch first. The windows roll down as you close, like when you open the door before you close the door, because there's no top frame. So if you didn't, it would break. Like it's kind of cool. It's a novelty.
There's a lot of everything. I didn't know I had heated seats until I started sweating going down the highway, and then I didn't know how to
They
turn
just
them
turn
off.
on?
'Cause-
Oh.
Well, it was from the factory. They have everything to test it, and so like I'm on 95, and my hands are sweating because the steering wheel's hot.
Steering wheel's
My
hot.
butt's sweating because the seat is hot. I'm doing like 80, and I can't fucking look at the touch screen. Like, ah. I was just fucking dying. I couldn't find the radio for 30 minutes.
Jesus.
It
Do you
also
have
has-
air conditioned seats?
I think so, but I will have to tell you in the summer.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah. It has like the G or the the AI in there senses whether or not Andrew's anxiety levels are a certain point. If they're high, like, "Hello, Andrew, I sense that your anxiety's high. I'm gonna play a sound effects that'll calm you down." Which is firearms being shot. It's like, okay, thank you.
I'm surprised you
Now
didn't
let
get a Cybertruck, man.
You know what? I swear to you, I waited until the announcement on the last day of November, and when he said how much they were, I was like, nope, we're getting the Model 3. That's it.
This Model S is kind of bad.
Yeah, well, okay. I just told you how much I'm spending on this fucking car. There's no way I'm doubling it just to go fucking 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds.
Ooh, I could be tempted to kill myself in one of those.
Yeah, but no, I had my first Challenger today at a red light. It was literally a Dodge Challenger, and he fucking took off, and I just went right on past. It's awesome.
Have you guys named it yet? Have you guys coined it something or
I called it Tessie. Named it Tessie. Tessie.
What color is it?
It's midnight silver.
Oh, all right. That's a little lame. I thought you were gonna get like that fucking blue or whatever
No, that's fucking lame.
that all the douchers get.
Midnight silver. I splurged on the wheels. Got like nice fucking like off-white wheels to set off the midnight silver. But yeah, so now I know that I don't have any argument when it comes to arguing for or against Elon Musk. I've automatically lost that argument because I've given him my money. But I'll tell you, man, if you want to get conservatives off of coal and oil, let them drive one of these things. Because when you beat a Dodge Challenger off the line in front of the Wawa, I have to imagine they're going to get to work. And they're going to kick the junkyard dog halfway across the fucking yard because they're so fucking pissed that this little twat in his midnight silver fucking electric burning car fucking ate them up after they spent probably $40,000 on their fucking gas powered bullshit.
Nah, you get those big old trucks with truck nuts. That's like 80 grand. 40 grand for truck nuts.
The nuts themselves.
The nuts themselves.
Just smaller. Well, welcome back, Alan, and welcome back,
Thanks.
listeners, middle class holes, everyone. Foxman Alan Murray. Yeah, so to recap, houses blowing up in D.C. $750 million contracts being handed out. Bunkers in the Black Hills. Rizz is the word of the year. Murr owns a Tesla. You've got a week off, and it was an action-packed week. So we're happy to.
Yeah. It's a
We're
whirlwind.
zeroing in on 2024. Folks, if you remember a couple years ago, actually, I think it was the Super Bowl before last, Hormel the company rolled out a sweepstakes, a lottery, if you will, for the very, very well, I would call it just award-winning, very clever name, the Hormel Chili Cheesecake. Uh, so for
Creative.
these two things that we're about to talk about, and we're going to come to a decision to coming hitting your way the holiday season. You don't even have to enter a lottery. You don't have to throw your name into a hat. You know, it's not a raffle. You can just go to I think to the internet or the web or some sort of. I don't know. As we read on, I'll tell you here, but you just spend a few of your hard-earned Uncle Sam American United States dollars for one of these two things. And these things are ridiculous, but they're not going to hit your shelves. They're going to hit the internet the holiday season. So where do you guys want me to start? You want me to just like lay them both out? We're going to pick what we want, pick what we would like to have in our household.
Yeah, I don't even know where we're going for. So yeah, let's do it.
Okay, yeah. So check out Miller High Life wants to make your home smell like a dive bar for the holidays. That's right, folks. You get yourself a 2.5-foot high neon tree that's been infused with the scent of sweet tobacco. It's called the Merry Highlight, and it's topped with a Miller High Life soft cross. So basically, it's like a 3D tree of neon green topped with the Miller High Life logo, and it does smell like sweet tobacco or a dive bar. So you get a good holiday scent. If someone walks in and goes, "What is that? Is that mistletoe? Is that burnt wood? Is that cedar? Is that gingerbread?" No, that's a dive bar. That's the Idle Hour.
That's Salem's.
That's
That's Parliament's.
That's ammonia. Or if you're more of the taste, if you have a little better, something you want to taste, your palate needs to be filled with something this holiday season. Doritos is teaming up with Empirical, which is actually a Danish company that makes custom spirits with creative flavors. But Doritos is going to pump out a cheese flavored booze. Actually, and I scoured this whole thing. I couldn't figure out what type of, if it's going to be a bourbon, a whiskey, a tequila, a vodka. Doesn't really say. I think they've left it to the eye of the beholder. But Doritos teams up with Empirical for a cheese flavored liquor. If you want to know any more details, let me know. But since it's flavored spirit, it's non-specific category of liquor. There you go. Doritos recommends mixing it with tequila or mezcal to make a Bloody Mary or a margarita. The booze can also be sipped or poured over ice.
Okay.
So I'll start with you, Alan. You have your choices. Which one do you want in your household, or maybe someone else's household this holiday season?
I think I would take the tree. Yeah, I got no use for that fucking Doritos. I don't even like nacho cheese Doritos. Like the snack.
That's just
Nah, it's not. It's fucking nasty. I don't know. I don't like any Doritos. I think they're all fucking gross. Like, their flavors are too artificial. So yeah, I'm taking High Life Tree, because I do love the smell of a good cigarette, and I do miss, an evening at Mum's, playing Hall & Oates on the touch tunes. Ripping heat.
Alan always impresses me with his music choices. I swear, man. You really do. You always surprise me, and you always impress me. Love me some Hall & Oates. Yeah, I'm taking the tree, but I'm not just breaking it out for like my own enjoyment. Like, let's say, okay, Wes, let's just say, for example, you get all the old cats together, the old basement hangout cats, and some extras to come along. Like, dude, yeah, you want the tree to have the ambiance. I think it sets the mood. But I do feel they've missed out on a few subtle notes. I think you need like that sour stench of a good black mat that's probably had every just like chili cheese spilled on it, maybe a little vodka, a little like some Rumpelmints mixed in there, just a little bit of everything. It can't just be that sweet tobacco smell. So I feel like they're cheating you just a hint there. But I feel like the smell of a dive bar really enhances the holiday mood and the holiday spirit. At the end of the day, I love Doritos, but there's no way I want that in liquid form infused to my liver. There's no need for that. I assume it's probably some sort of like moonshine concoction, hopefully made out of corn, to give it the full Dorito effect. But look, Doritos are a good like snack to go with a drink.
You know what
Not
the best
a
part about this is? Sorry to cut you off. I was just casually checking out Instagram, and some influencer, is drinking this Doritos thing in margaritas. It sounds awful. Sorry, continue.
but yeah, but I mean, because now it's just a novelty, and how many people are going to be able to enjoy the Dorito? Or actually, let me take that back. Not how many people are going to, how many people will enjoy. Even like, here, you want some of this? Not really, but I'll try it. Then it just becomes like a passing around the bottle kind of like novelty bullshit, where the tree just allows everybody to kind of like experience the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I was about 50-50 on this simply because I just don't know at my age what novelty a dive bar smell would serve. Other than, like, again, you said getting the old gang from the basement. First, I thought you were going to say get us back in the basement. I was like, listen, buddy, we don't need a fragrance or a fragrance enhancer to help us recreate that smell. You know, a few beers, a few cigarettes, and voila, we're back at it.
Somebody pee in the corner, please.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say pissing in
get
the
this.
corner is what I'm aware of.
It's the sub pump, by the way, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any desire to drink booze infused with nacho cheese. I have a hard time with, the Kahlúas of the world, unless it's some sort of like one-time drink. It's I got this kind of fancy martini. All right, I'll give it a whirl. But yeah, you just didn't we go down this road a couple hundred times in this show with these novelty booze? Didn't Mountain Dew do something? Wasn't there a couple others that were just like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, well, some of them we've been like gross, and some of them we've been like, might give it a whirl just to see what happens.
Right.
But this is just.
Well, I feel as though if you give me, first of all, this High Life lamp is $120. All right, it's not I better get what I pay for. All right, I'm not talking about.
10 years.
Yeah, I'm not talking about mothballs or something weird. I'm talking about this shit better smell like a stale Bush Light, Newports, and fucking Aunt Jane who sings karaoke till 3 a.m. Who pours Bush Light and smokes Newports?
Exactly. Well, the other thing with the at least it's a lamp too. I mean, it's shaped like a Christmas tree. Yada yada. Yada. You're getting multiple uses out of that, and you say $120, but okay, how much is one bottle of your drink, your Doritos drink? It's probably like $30. And if you want to
US.
65.
So in order for everybody to have one shot of this, you're probably gonna have to buy 2 bottles, and there you go. At least you get to keep the tree forever.
Right. Yeah, if it runs out of the potpourri, if that's what you'd want to call, dive bar smell, at least it still has a kind of a cool luminance. I shared the screen with you guys earlier. It's got the 3D thing going on, and the kind of the cheesy Miller High Life thing. And when I drink Miller High Life, I like to enjoy a Dorito with that. It kind of brings me down. It gets me. It knocks a few pegs off my totem pole.
One of them creates an ambiance. It sets a scene for house guests or friend, whatever it may be. The other one is like when you black out and you definitely vomit and you wake up the next morning and you're like, it was the fucking Dorito shot. Like that's you know what I mean. So like, yeah, tree all day. No thanks.
Yeah. And I kind of think now that I'm talking to you guys as this Miller High Life beer bar scented lamp as a litmus test to my friends, my amigos, my acquaintances, and people I don't want to hang out with. I gotta have a nice big fat party. I'll buy 2 of these fuckers and set them up on either end. That way we're not missing a square inch of my house. All right. And if anyone pisses and moans, I'd be like, you know what? You just fell out of my friend zone. Exactly. I want only my friends to be like, man, I kind of like that.
Yeah. Dude,
I want to have a cigarette.
Dude, I honestly, I long for those times. I mean, how many times did we end up down at the Rendezvous and it's just fucking balls to butts everywhere you go, trying to make your way to the bathroom where it just smells like puke and stale urine, that weird maple syrupy kind of like just dried fucking human excrement just lingering in the air. Just reminds me of my 20s. That's what I want.
No matter where you walk, no matter what you bumped into, you always got a little bit of pool chalk on you. It's just shit just kind of like lingered everywhere. And I'm not
Pulled
talking
chalk
about.
and cigarette ash. That's all
Yeah,
you.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, and don't wear new shoes down there. Don't just keep it to the B shoes if you can. Well, folks, if you want to give us your vote for the holiday season, Doritos, cheese, flavored booze. Again, they were pretty discreet about, or non-transparent about what type of was it. It's called it a liqueur or the Miller High Life bar scented lamp. That's coming at $120. You can get that on the Miller High Life website. The other one's on the Doritos website. Doesn't look like you need to find it anywhere else on retail. You're not going to find this at a Marshalls or a J.C. Penney's anywhere. God, I hope not. I could see this at like those bigger, that's what to call those bigger liquor stores that have the automatic doors, because the ones I go in, you have to push them for the most part, and they have like a liquor rep in front, like, hi sir, we have some. Would you like to try? Oh, that's cool. I'm driving, but I'll have some.
I know. I always feel bad because the Rick's apparently is high end at this point. Like they have a liquor rep in there every time I'm there, and it's like, would you like to try this Monster Energy drink, vodka infused? And like, no, no, I would not. I'm buying this to take home to drink it there. Why would I booze up in the fucking store with you, with swill?
Yeah.
If you're trying to, no. Yeah, and there's no way that's like, would you like to try this nacho cheese infused moonshine? No. No.
Nope.
Not at all.
We actually have petrified nacho cheese bits floating around for authenticity.
It's like Goldschlager, but not.
Alan, yum yum, right?
No.
Drink up.
Nope. No, thanks.
Now, hold on. I want to backtrack just a tick before we get to Fun Fact Friday. Doritos are not in your pantry, not in anybody's pantry around you. You're not like dipping your hand in. You're not sweet savoring that MSG latent triangle at all.
Talk about me? Dorito? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nah, I don't fucking.
Wow.
I don't know. I ate them as a kid. Maybe I just had too much of them. But like, I don't know. Somewhere along the lines, like I ate a Dorito, and like, I might be willing to eat like a sweet chili. But fucking no, the cheese ones are like, eh. The Cool Ranch, I haven't liked Cool Ranch since before I was fucking like 12. Like that's fucking trash. Like,
Yeah, Cool Ranch is trash. I agree with you 1,000%. Cool. Anybody who likes Cool Ranch, I automatically know where to categorize them in my life.
like you live in a double wide if you fucking like Cool Ranch. Like that's fucking.
You ain't driving a Tesla, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I ate.
He's a sun chip kind of guy now,
Yeah, at like 11 or 12, I ate an entire like family size thing of Cool Ranch. I think I was watching like WCW Sunday night or something, and didn't barf, but definitely was to a point where I was salivating, where I was like, nope, don't want that anymore. So yeah, I haven't had Cool Ranch since.
You ate like 3 fucking powder packets of Hidden Valley Ranch Mix and some fucking tortilla chips. Like it's fucking gross.
When fucking Ric Flair was strapping on that figure 4 to someone, I couldn't help myself. I had to double. I had to get both hands in that bag. My frontal lobe was just. Anyhow, all right. So it's a clean sweep. The Miller High Life potpourri lamp wins out, but that doesn't mean our vote trumps everyone in the middle class holes listening category. Some opinions are better than others, and our opinions are better than yours, but feel free to share with us what you would rather have. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Murr, let's get funny, let's get silly, let's get smart.
Let's get to it. Let's get to your mental floss. Amazing facts. And coming in the new year, Alan, I got a brand new book. It will not be the fun fact calendar. It will officially start to be the true facts that sound like bullshit. And we'll be reading from this in the coming year. 500 facts in here, so it'll actually bleed its way into 2025. But for now, it's still your mental floss. Amazing facts. So here are 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, brought to you, of course, by our new friend, Cuckster for Life. Find Cuckster for Life over on Instagram. Just a man in a chair watching a wife get railed out by several nondescript ethnic men.
He still eats Cool Ranch Doritos. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And then he doesn't wash the remnants off his fingertips.
No, sir.
No. It licks them off.
That's right. Actually, he has the other men lick those off from the outstretched arm. It's kind of like looking for the tag team tag. Like, ooh, just lick, buddy.
And what's left he uses to exfoliate his nether region.
That's a special love for your wife right there.
Here you go. Did you know? In Massachusetts, it's against the law to swear at players or officials during a sporting event if you're 16 years or older. So you just need to start whispering to your 5-year-old. Call him a cunt.
It's kind of interesting.
Wait,
It's one of those.
I got to assume
local laws, probably.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I mean, can you think? Do you honestly believe at a Celtics or a Bruins game, fucking 17-year or older people aren't cursing at the refs or the players?
I guess you just can't arrest a kid like a juvenile. Maybe that's the deal, and so it's just it. But in Massachusetts, it's against the law. I mean, it's just one of those laws that they're never going to take off the books, so that if you're being a real dick, they can be like, "Well, you're violating code 1."
Yeah,
so we're gonna have to take you in.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, Adam Jones, center fielder for the Orioles, was rather candid about just how racist the people in Boston were, the center field bleacher creatures at Fenway were. And I don't think they were calling him, "Hey, idiot," or "bozo," if you catch my drift. I'm not saying that's funny. I'm just saying, and you're right. This is probably one of those ones that if you're just a total drunken buffoon asshole starting fights, getting thrown out, being lewd, crude, and giving law enforcement a hard time, they want to throw the book at you. Yeah. We're going to cite you for code 1.
Well, I mean, but I don't want to get into constitutional law here, but it also sounds like that's a violation of your right, your freedom of speech.
Yeah, might have been might have been under the Articles of Confederation.
Yeah. Okay.
It just hadn't updated it since then.
Did you know? Walt Disney, who was born on this day in 1901, had a secret apartment above Disneyland. It's still there. In fact, above the fire station. While the apartment isn't typically open to the public, tours sometimes let you see it. The furnishings remain virtually unchanged from when Walt used it, including a lamp in the window that's visible from outside. It's never shut off to signify that Walt is always in the park.
Mm. Yeah, also, did you know that same... Oh,
Disneyland.
Disneyland in L.A.?
Yeah, and, Anaheim, wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, that same lamp had a potpourri of Minnie Mouse's crotch. Just constantly funneled in.
Oh, yeah. Wafting through the room.
That's right. And I wonder, you said it was like, how high up? Is that 3rd story?
Just above the fire station there. So I don't know how high it was. But,
Okay.
No, but you know what? I got 2 things to say. One, how come Roy Disney never gets, like, I mean, I know people know who he is, but, like, Roy never gets any love. It's always Walt. Chain smoked cigarettes till he died of cancer. And here comes Roy building the fucking empire that we know today. But nope, it was Walt because he drew a shitty cartoon fucking mouse. Here he is, 100 years later.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're asking me why? I don't mean shit, man. I didn't even know there was a Roy.
Who was older?
I think Roy was older. But Roy was in charge of, like, all the finances, everything. Walt just had all the. Walt was like me. Walt was just like, "Hey, Roy, listen to this. We should buy all the swampland in Florida and build an amusement park." And Roy's like, "Fuck. Let me make some calls." and now here we are. But no, fucking Walt Disney World, Walt Disney. Hey, Roy, bunch of dicks. And by the way, did you know Walt killed his parents?
With what? Just secondhand smoke?
He bought them like a house, obviously, good son. Bought them the state of the art furnace, but I think the flue was closed and they died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Jesus.
And that's why all subsequent Disney movies had a tragic parental death as a theme.
Oh. But that's user error, though. He didn't kill him. You know, they just didn't know how to use operate the chimney.
Yeah, maybe they should have had a carbon monoxide detector. That would have probably been useful.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they knew that was a thing back then.
Well, get the fucking parakeet. Miners did it.
Oh, you can die from air. Huh. Interesting.
Who knew?
The parents probably sat there and smoked cigarettes. Like, I don't know. These things are just emitting a lot of fog.
Got the vapors.
They're delicious. Did you know? While it might be funny to imagine that a sleeping cow could be knocked over with a gentle push, cow tipping is just a myth. First, cows sleep lying down, so there goes that part of the story. Even more importantly, they weigh about 1,500 pounds and balance their weight on all four legs. So, good luck tipping that over.
Yeah.
You knew that, Alan? You knew that was a myth, that they lay down and sleep?
Well, I knew that they lay down and sleep, yes.
Okay.
And fucking common sense tells me that the average human ain't pushing a fucking cow over. Like, maybe like Brock Lesnar, you know? Maybe fucking Magnus Vermagnuson from the fucking, strongman shit. But like, yeah, me and you ain't doing it. That's all I'm saying. We're getting Tommy Boy'd real
like
quick.
Chris Farley
Getting
and
fucking
Tommy Boy.
stepped on. Yeah.
I always think about, like, when I watch... I'm glad you brought up Magnus Vermagnuson. The guy was born to be the world's strongest man.
The greatest
he was fucking
name
named
ever.
the world... Yeah, at birth, he was named the world's strongest man with that name alone. But when they pick up those Atlas stones, those big round rocks that they have to... God, it's when I know that, like, how diverse humans are, because there's no way. I'm not even picking it up. I'm not even, like, there's not even going to be, like, a microscopic, like, bit of air. There's not even going to be a molecule of oxygen between it and the ground. And this guy's, like, up to his nipples and on top of a fucking keg. I'm just, Jesus Christ, dude. Could you imagine if I had to, like, get into an altercation with this human? It's over. It's done. There's no chance.
Well, you just, either you run or you wait till he's sleeping because he stands up and you push him over.
Yeah.
Guys that big don't sleep laying down.
They don't sleep laying down. They
just can't lay down.
They just do a squat.
They can't get back up, if they lay down.
I'll tell you, the greatest cow story of all time is, Wes, when you came back with the trunkload of fireworks. And
right.
We went out one night with some Roman candles. And I guess we thought the cows were sleeping. They weren't sleeping. And we started launching Roman candles at the at the bovine, and they started running, and we were just running and gunning, and that was one of the most awesome moments of my life. Just hear.
Did you create a stampede? Jesus.
Yes, we did, and all you saw was rainbow. It was awesome.
Dude, the Cecil County drive-by got coined, man. That's where we came up with shooting Roman candles at cows, man.
Yeah, Cecil County.
I came back from South Dakota. So we crossed, went to Iowa, then to Illinois, to Indiana, to Ohio, a bit of West Virginia into Maryland. So you're talking about 5 county lines with $400 worth of fireworks, to which I had to explain to my mom that it was only about $100 worth. I was like, no, this is all the stuff you bought. And she was like, wait, what? Are you sure? I was like, oh, yep, mm-hmm. Yeah, got a real deal here.
But there was nothing like It was pitch black. This is how it all went down too. I'll never forget this. I won't mention names, but I will always be grateful to these people. So somebody twisted a bunch of black cats together, Alan, and lit them and threw them high in the air. And that spooked the cattle. And they started running. And then we lit the Roman candles and started driving. And just like these glowing balls of fire, like just exploding against the hides. And just, oh my God. It's just, in my mind, it's just glorious.
Wait,
And we'll
y'all were
forever be
hitting
there.
them too? That's rude.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Broadside and fucking cows.
I've been hit with a Roman candle ball. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, they do brand them with molten iron, so I think that's the least of their worries. Did you know, in 1989, a Danish man watching A Fish Called Wanda actually laughed himself to death. He began laughing so hard that his heart rate allegedly escalated between 250 and 500 beats per minute, which led to his death.
Oof. And to think he didn't die when he saw Jamie Lee Curtis's tits.
Right.
He laughed himself to death. That was a Kevin Kline.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis shows the tatas in that one?
I think so.
I mean, I know in Trading Spaces, I didn't know about that one.
I'll have to look up nude celebrity nudography here.
You know what? I haven't watched A Fish Called Wanda in quite some time, so, maybe just gave me a little extra motivation.
Yeah, I also like that scene. The guy gets taught, like, Kevin Kline gets pretty much tricked into getting stuck in the cement because he gets in an argument with that guy over whether or not the United States lost the Vietnam War. He's like, you guys lost. He's a British guy. He's like, no, we didn't. He's like, oh, yes, you did. You got your asses kicked. No, it was a tie. It was a tie, goddammit.
It's a tie. Jeez.
And then his argument.
You're saying you tied a war. You lost.
Yeah, I have to agree with Alan on this one.
Yeah, in his own proud way, gets stuck in cement that just freshly poured. Yeah. So let's see here. Christmas with the Cranks. Something else. True Lies.
I don't think she's naked in that one.
No, but this also shows like if they've let's see here. Love Letters. Trading Places. You're right. Love Letters. Grandview, USA. Nope. I lied. She doesn't get nude in Fish Called Wanda. So.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So now you don't have a reason to watch it. I mean, a man laughed himself to death, and you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Is like I remember watching it. I remember it being a comical movie, but I couldn't see myself like killing myself watching A Fish Called Wanda.
Maybe some of the stuff just didn't translate. Maybe it was better to a Danish man who spoke loose English.
Good
where he
point.
interpreted things to a certain level.
Good point.
Like, this is amazing. Poor guy. He probably had a condition that he was going to die at some point down the road.
If you are going to die suddenly, out of hilarity, that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I would say hilarity, or if you're a heterosexual man eating a woman out.
Okay.
I mean, I get your sentiment, but I feel like
In a jacuzzi.
no.
No? You drown? Well, go down abroad? It's a ball of death.
How about her going down on me and my head's above water? Like I just
But how are you going to die? What?
I mean, she obviously.
You'd have to essentially drown yourself. Well, I guess she could drown you, but
Yeah. Maybe
I don't know.
Okay, she gives you such an extraordinary orgasm that you lose all ability to float, swim, or keep yourself above water in the jacuzzi. And
I don't want to
down.
drown either. I just like pure ecstasy. I want my heart to explode. Like, like my body has no other function but ejaculation. Like, and it just stalls out. And that's the way. Not me face down like, like.
Now you're talking about fiction. I just die from pure ecstasy. Look, this guy who died from A Fish Called Wanda, that's about it. That's about as good as it's going to get. Everything else is written in books and shitty fucking Jamie Lee Curtis movies.
Fair enough. And finally, did you know on this day in 1903, Wilbur and Orville Wright made their first attempt at flight. It failed, but days later they made history. When Neil Armstrong headed to the moon on the Apollo 11 mission in July 1969, he carried with him small bits of wood and fabric taken from that very airplane.
That's pretty cool. 1903,
Did not know.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the failure. A few days later, which is going to be a few days down the road, is the success.
Yeah, but think about the thing that always baffles me. So, 66 years later, man had not flown. And 66 years later, man walks on the moon. That's the fun fact. That's fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to, because I'm not, obviously no one got seriously injured, but I'd like to know if there was like a close call with the failure, some like a little too much gust of wind and then a nosedive into a sand dune in the Outer Banks.
I don't know I can't remember which one actually accomplished the first flight, but the one that did it was the one that did not crash a couple days before, because homeboy fucked himself up. It was like your turn, Wilbur.
Arm sling. Yeah, right. Wasn't it, I think he could only operate a camera, right? The other one was the only one that could actually move both. Am I making that up? I feel like that some of these facts merge together.
What do you mean? What the one? Well, they had to. The way it had to work too is they had like train tracks, and like they had to have like a team of people, and they would have to. They had like, I don't know, like just say 5 links of track. Well, as it started moving, like after it left the first link, they had to run around to the front and keep like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
And they didn't fly very long, right? The first
the first 14
flight.
seconds, I think, the first flight.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
I mean, they dialed it in eventually, but but the fact that it had never been done, and like, and there's that video of that guy that tried to glide off the Eiffel Tower and just makes a 5-foot crater in the ground.
That is, you can just tell he's not all that sold on his own invention. And, he's like, ooh, I got these giant fucking Bidbird wings. These things will help me.
Everyone did show up, so I guess we're going.
Buongiorno.
Toodaloo. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Well, thank you for making us smarter, Mr. Murr, and I hope that this good bad movie review of it used to be a month, now it's every 2 months, every 6 weeks, kind of whenever we get around to it, will make you I don't know, moderately less stupid. Either way, fresh off the heels of American classics such as House Party and House Party 2, we get our old friends. Let's see, our old friends Kid and Play. It's Chris, Kid Reed, and Chris Play Martin in an old classic, Class Act, via 1992, 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. The story goes a pair of, from the opposite ends of the spectrum, one super brilliant, intelligent, Harvard-bound, scholastic, just prodigy, and then another troubled juvenile, juvenile, by the way. I hope you get that reference.
Yes.
In a situation where, of course, 1992, everything wasn't digital. They have files, and it seems weird to me. That had to have been Hollywood, because they're transfer students, both of them, and they have their student files with a picture that someone took with a Polaroid of them, and one pushes the other into the principal. The files go in the air. The pictures land on the other people's profiles. Thus, the idiot has to take the place as the criminal. The criminal has to take the place as the idiot. The criminal talks the idiot into getting him good grades to keep him out of jail. Yada, yada. Hilarity ensues. Did you guys watch the movie? If you did, give me some of your remarks, key points, things that you liked or didn't like.
I thought it was an entertaining movie. I feel like these movies that we've been doing recently kind of highlight the fact that movies don't have to change your philosophy on life. Like sometimes they're just entertainment. It is an entertaining. It's an entertaining movie, and that was the one thing I picked up on too, Wes. Is like maybe that this generation doesn't quite grasp. Is like there was a time where you just had to like trust that someone was who they said they were, and the fact that their entire file, their entire lives get turned upside down is because their pictures end up in the wrong Manila folder. That's it. And that's the crux of the movie. But it's the classic what's the like Parent Trap? You know, it's that classic kind of like vehicle to get the movie rolling. And so they of course they learn from each other. They're so opposite, yet there's a common ground. There's a commonality there.
You're right. Duncan Pinder Hughes learns to not be so stuck up. Gets a little bit of raw, a little bit of edgy, and Blade Brown, which is funny because I went to high school with a guy named Blaine Brown. Blade Brown becomes a little bit sensitive, ends up winning out Ellen, aka is it? It's not Vivian. What's her face? Fresh Prince.
I think it is
Hillary.
Hillary, yes.
Yeah, Hillary from Fresh Prince. You're right. So they learn from each other. Absolutely. Well, that's what I was going to say. Demita, Alicia Rogers. Whoo-wee. I'd fucking pay to smell her farts. Alan, this is...
I'd pay to eat her out in a jacuzzi.
I mean, it's a great film. I was excited when you picked this one. I didn't get to watch all of it because apparently we watch movies like this on fucking YouTube now.
But in 31 parts, by the way.
Yeah, fucking 10-minute segments. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. But I always loved this movie. I remember, like, when you said it, I was like, I had to think about it for a second. And then when I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah. Don't they go to a wax museum at some point in time? Isn't there some fucking weird fucking...
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So,
I didn't see the whole thing.
It's where the gangsters are chasing the group of youngsters who now the top's blowing off the whole secret. Everyone knows that Blade is Blade, Duncan's Duncan. The women are like, are you going to be lying to me? And then they go to a wax museum that Demita works at to hide out / trick the gangsters into, I don't know, just basically, we know our territory, and our territory is a wax museum. Thus, we're going to defeat people with firearms. Seems reasonable.
Yeah, there's some logic in it.
Yeah. Check this out, though. Dougie Doug as Popsicle.
Yeah.
Thomas Michael Ford as Mink, who's the head honcho gangster. I think Brother Man from Martin is in this.
Bro Man.
Yeah. Is it Mesha Taylor, who I remember from Designing Women, who plays Duncan's dad, is in this.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to place him. I'm like, that's not Arsenio Hall. Who is that?
It's like Rick Dukeman, the guy he's the parole officer of Blade, who's been in a ton of shit.
Oh yeah,
check him out. Sam McMurray, who plays Skip, he's in it. Oh, Rhea Perlman from Cheers. She's the smart class professor who's hitting on Blade, aka Duncan at that point. Yeah, I'm good. That's a lineup,
dude. Bottom line is, it was an enjoyable movie. There was nothing like, I get that. Again, you're not going to come out of this film smarter or have some introspective like perspective on life. Like when you get away from it, it's just sit down, watch it, see how it unfolds. It's a good movie. It's a good bad movie. Nothing enriching, but nothing lost. It's just a fun movie. It's entertainment. Movies are supposed to be entertainment. This was an entertaining movie.
So I think, and another takeaway from this, Kid and Play, obviously, and rightfully so, need to be remembered for, and not solely for, but remembered for House Party. House Party is a great movie. That's a good movie. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
And then their hip hop career and their acting career, obviously producers and people on top tried to bank and cash in on their celebrity, assuming that it was either going to be short-lived or we're just going to ride this fucker as long as we can. Movie like this comes out, I personally think it gets a 17% because they're basing it off of House Party, which is unfair. You know what I mean? It's a better movie than that.
Well, I'll also say this, like, as far as advertising goes, like you think about they made G.I. Joe to sell G.I. Joe figures. They made Transformers to sell Transformers. If this was their thing, was like, we'll make movies to sell our music, mission accomplished, man. I mean, you're talking about a time before social media, before cell phones, before any of that stuff. Hey, how do we get people to know who Kid and Play is? Well, these guys are okay actors. Let's put them in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said two scenes that I want, if you're going to go back and watch this, I want everyone to remember. Yes, a couple. There's a few, but these are, well, actually three. One, when Popsicle is holding the holding the frog in front of the microscope and holding the popsicle up to his mouth, like, "It's a frog you want to lick." It's just stupid, dumb comedy in general. But one, it was where Blade is trying to teach Duncan like street terminology. And he's like, you don't be doing this. You be fly. You be fly with a bitch. Things like that, and then Duncan tries to get all smart with him. He's like, "Oh, you're using like the first adjective and then like a third person context." He's like, "What?" And then he finally starts getting it. And he's like, something about being deaf, and he interprets it as he can't hear. He's like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Like, you're deaf? Yeah." He's like, "Blade Brown is the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever met in my life," and he punches him. Another one, I caught this. They probably should have recorded it again, or they probably should have done another take. But it's so genuine. I don't know if you remember this. This is the point where you guys remember Wedge, the guy who keeps getting his ass kicked. He's the antagonist who's supposed to be a high schooler who looks like he's fucking 30.
He wears half shirt cutoffs to high school. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's working for Wink, the gangster. He's like collecting money via drugs or whatever. But he's driving. Well, Mink is in the passenger seat. He's like going through his gun. He goes, "Do you have any do you have any leftover ammo?" He's like, "Yeah, I think so." He's like, "Either you do or you don't." He's like, "Yeah, I got some." "No, I don't got any." And then because he's been slapping him the entire film, and he rears up to hit him in the back of the head, and Wedge starts laughing because he can't. The guy who's playing him can't hold down. It's like, and then they just cut to another scene. They probably should have done that again, but I think it adds to like just how stupid this movie could be at points. Anyway, enjoyable.
Yeah. And here's a fun fact about Kid and Play. Did you know that Kid and Play, Salt and Peppa, and Martin Lawrence all worked at the same Sears and made a promise to each other that if one of them made it, then they would bring the other one along. And when Salt and Peppa got big, Martin Lawrence opened for him with his stand-up act.
That's awesome.
I remember Martin was in House Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
That's a great one. Oof. I think "Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody" by Kid and Play should be the outro song this week.
Ain't gonna hurt nobody. I gotta play it over my phone. I can do that
dancing, y'all.
Yeah. This is actually when he's teaching him to dance in the bedroom. It's what's that? Christ, hold on. Give me a minute. I'll remember it. In the meantime, Alan, tell all the children's and all the class acts where you can find the middle class halls.
Oh, well, you can find us for all your listening pleasures on the Google Podcasts, the Apple Podcasts, and the Spotify. And, of course, for social medias, please check us out on Instagram and Twitter. We're at MDL Classholes. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook and TikTok and fucking Rumble and Grindr and fucking all the good stuff. So check us out.
It's a shame the way you mess around with my heart. That jam. That's what I was talking about.
Pops.
Dude, Kid and Play, the quote tag team dance. Like, I mean, are there any other innovators that you can think of off the top of your head? Like, everybody knows like the foot shake, bounce in a circle. Like, I mean, that's Kid and Play. That's like classic fucking 90s. That's
was
contributed.
When I was talking to Dewey today, I was talking about because we, of course, here at December 14th, we're talking about what we're going to get our mom for Christmas.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. But I explained that we were doing a review of this, and he's like, "Yeah, the Pajama Jammy Jam." I was like, No, that's House Party 2. He's like, no, that's where the two guys, like the smart guy and the criminal, get like their identities swapped up. It's like, yeah, that's class act. Yeah, then they have a party later on called a pajama jam. I was like, that's House Party 2.
It's definitely House Party too.
Yeah.
Oh, and my favorite line in the movie, by the way, because every movie from that era had to have a gay joke, and I'll say they were rather progressive in their gay joke. He's trying to get Duncan ready, and he's taking out the classic kid and play, like super high top,
high flat, yeah.
And they're making some grunting noises and saying some sexually suggestive things, and the dad overhears them, and he sits down and he goes, "Honey, have you ever thought about Duncan's sexual preference?" And she goes, "I didn't know he had one." And that was it. That was the big early 90s gay joke.
Then they go back to reading their newspapers at 8
Yep.
p.m.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if memory serves me right, at the end, doesn't he catch him having sex with what's her face, and then
Demita?
he's like, yeah, he's not gay. Like,
It's like,
you know what I mean?
Our young son Duncan was fornicated with a very fly honey in our bedroom. Look. And then that riles the parents up to then have sex, because that's, I mean, what parent doesn't get turned on by their child fornicating, you know?
In their beds.
It's the circle of life. It's the circle of life.
Jesus.
All right. Some listener comments from this week. This is actually a two-part. This is funny. This is the coming from TikTok, our deviled egg record. This is where I proclaim that I probably ate the most deviled eggs ever in 2023 Thanksgiving. Guy named I'm named after my dad says, quote, "That's the whitest thing I've ever heard." Blickety Blow responded, "Right? Question mark. Super weird he talked like that, being white and all."
Neither is wrong. Both of them are correct.
Yeah, it's totally right. And again, Blickety Blow wrote on another one, "Poop in your pants builds character." This is where, like, in a party, I explained that I crapped myself. Someone called me out on it. Then I asked everyone if they had an accident. More people often than not. Then I said I had climbed a 12-foot wall in a discovery zone. And then he says, "Man, I could never climb up that wall." Toot! You bet. I sure can. Next one, email from Keith Curran, our favorite listener from Frederick. He calls it Fredneck. "I'm still listening out in the booties of Fredneck. Caught your discussion on hot air balloons, and it seems Mern knows as much about ballooning as he does drinking habits on a golf course. I have a friend who's a licensed pilot. He's also a licensed balloon pilot. There's actually a lot of planning that goes into each flight. I've watched him go over a lake and touch the basket into the water and then take off again intentionally. During the county fair, he regularly takes off and flies over the fairground. There is 0% chance you would be able to assemble things and actually stand up the balloon by yourself. It's not a rocket liftoff, but you still have to be knowledgeable. If you'd like to give it a try, I can put you in touch with my friend, and we can drive your happy ass to Frederick and try it out. I'd probably create some great content on social media. Thanks again for all the laughs. Still enjoy the show."
Okay.
Wow.
First of all, Keith.
Hold on. When Murr goes, okay, pause. You know, fucking magic's
I know.
about to happen. Go on.
Okay. What town? What municipality is this guy flying his balloon in?
Well, he said over the
Frederick.
Frederick County Fair, so
Okay, the Frederick County Fair, where like there's tens of people doomed if this fucking balloon careens off course. He touches down in a lake. Okay, look, if there's nothing around, I bet you're a spectacular balloonist. But once you start to get into like a metropolitan area, good luck with your balloon in there, balloony. Like there's no, like, I get it. I'm not saying these guys don't have some sort of like knowledge, but they wait for a crystal clear day where the morning dew is just glistening off the ground. They go out to a fucking field where they can't hit anything. They'll tell me they're like, fine. I'm sure they have some skills. But if you're telling me that I can't get a fucking hot air balloon off the ground, you can go fuck yourself, Keith.
Hey, man, look.
set it up.
I was going to say, put your money where your mouth is, bro. I mean, you sit here and you say you can't do it. Or can do it.
I want to see you get dragged by a basket across a field.
No, that's what will happen. I think that's my entire point, is that, like, I've never, Alan, my point last show was that you've never gotten on YouTube and typed in hot air balloon and seen just a joyous, like, fun flight. They all end in tragedy. All the ones that are filmed are end in tragedy. Because even if they're fun, people are like, I don't need this boring ass 30-minute video on my phone, and they delete it.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, there's probably way more successful balloon things than we're giving the internet credit for. The internet's just like, let's watch people getting drug across.
Sure. And I contend that that's true. But I also contend that hot air ballooning is lame and boring. And so the only reason that anybody does it is just to be up that high, and they always do it. Wes, your tragic story was like some guy was about to like destroy a golf course. You know, a giant manicured open field.
As a driving range, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the point is like you're not doubling down. You're like 1.5ing down. You're still criticizing the skill set that it takes to be a balloonist, or in this case, a licensed balloon pilot. But you're also being like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't take that much. I could do it. I could drag myself across. I mean, I just think at this point you really have no choice. I think you got to go out to Frederick. And
let's get it set up. Keith, call me.
Yeah. They have to drive out into the middle of nowhere to hit nothing in a fucking balloon. I'm not saying that these people aren't knowledgeable, but I'm saying if I read a book, if I took the time and I cared enough, I could get it off the ground. Thing is, I wouldn't want to be off the ground.
I don't know.
I'd be willing to place a bet. Yeah, you can read all the literature on ballooning you want, and I'll still think you can't do it.
There's like weights and counterweights and fucking I don't think you got it, buddy.
Okay, look,
I don't think
I know you said there's weights and counterweights, but if my only goal is to get off the ground, then it's and drop all the weights. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna end up in the stratosphere and probably fucking like electrocuted on the way down.
Yeah, but then you win the bet.
Good point.
I'll pay you.
I just don't know. I don't even know. Like, I feel like I'm a rather intelligent guy, and fucking, I can't even like start to picture in my mind how we started. Like,
Okay,
how do I get liftoff?
I'm gonna go on a whim, and you guys can look this up and see if I'm right. I'm gonna assume that you lay the basket down on its side, so it's like firing left or right. Okay, and I'm assuming that you get like you and like 5 buddies like to hold up the hole, and one guy just stands there and still the balloon starts to like get some lift, and then once it starts to get some lift, you then tip the fucking basket over and continue to fucking like roar some flame into that bitch. And then you gotta probably change canisters of fucking propane and then just keep going until it's gentle, until it starts to ever so slightly just like become buoyant on the ground. And then you fucking like, everybody get in. Come on, grab your Doritos liqueur and let's go.
Doritos. You're right. That is the official seasonal liqueur of choice for balloon riding.
Yeah.
This is
Doritos Spirit.
That's right.
It's not even Doritos vodka. It's just
sponsored by Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, God, never mind. Hard pass. Dude,
I will
I've
say
just
that
looked across at the Spirit line in the airport and been like, oh, no thanks.
I'm
If I
willing
had
to bet
travel that way,
hot air balloons probably have a better flight record than Spirit Airlines. That I will give them credit for.
Keith listens to every episode, so I want to see if we're willing to kind of set something up.
Hey, and Keith, let me say this: I am a fan of you, 100%. Don't take it personal.
Keith keeps us in check. He keeps us in check. Lastly, we got a voicemail from a listener who had something to say. This is in response to your story about kind of digesting a situation with a bartender and a patron who said Colorado Kool-Aid, and you later on said Colorado Kool-Aid. This is an official voicemail. You guys ready?
Okay.
Hold on,
I knew that wasn't going to go smooth the first
I was
time.
like, no, yeah.
It's like I used to be able to play it through the.
Hey guys, first time, long time. So I was listening to Murr's story about the Colorado Kool-Aid when he was at the bar. I wasn't surprised at all to hear that the bartender laughed. She thought Murr was gay. You know, non-threatening. Anyway, thanks for the joke. Keep up the good work.
Yep. So there you have it.
That's fair.
That's digestion.
She just had
observation.
not threatening to her at all. She was like, Colorado Kool-Aid. That's rude, maybe.
That's fine.
It's not fine. He's looking at his shirt and his head. He's like, "Am I getting all gay vibes?"
No, it's not. It's not that I. It's not that I like came off as gay. It's that I came off as 5'6" and 130 pounds. So, I understand. I know where I stand in the world. It's okay.
I mean, I know you can't fly a balloon. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I think you're man enough to fly a balloon. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that proves I'm not gay.
Shit.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Been a
Nice.
pleasure. Mid-December, we got 2 more. Actually, because the holidays land. Well, hold on one second. That's right. 2 more before the end of the year. The holidays land on a Monday, so we're going to keep this fucker rolling. Next week, we got an extra special treat for you all. Murr, myself, and Al are going to step aside, and 3 guests are going to take over for 10 to 15 minutes. And I would say hilarity and insanity is going to meet in the middle, and they're going to shoot guns and do drugs. So enjoy that. Otherwise, stay tuned for, I don't know, celebrity deaths. We're going to recap some things. Who's going to die in 2024? Who died in 2023? And do we got any other special treats?
I think that's it. I mean, Nostradamus is gonna let us know what the new year's gonna hold. So I'm extra excited about that.
Yeah. All right. All right, well, folks, check us out next week.